If you could just tell us your names and what it is you do.
Yeah, I'm Karsten. I'm one of the co-directors of Snoovies, and my main role is kind of editing the interviews, interviewing actors and directors of our chosen Snoovies, content selection as well to a certain extent, and although that's pretty much all of us, isn't it, really, that do that. Yeah. And what other roles? Kind of liaison. I think I kind of do a lot of liaison with colleges and stuff like that. So looking for films, looking for connections and stuff like that with the film companies.
And I'm Vianna, and I do all the social media side, research, finding events to, get Snoovies up there. Also finding films and, just research and tweeting and occasionally bullying the boys, to get them.
And mediator.
Motivated. Mediator. Not bullying. Mediator. Yeah. And I'm an actress as well. We're all actors.
Oh yeah, we're all actors.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we're not acting now.
So how did you get into creating Snoovie if you're all actors?
Roger came up with the idea. He does a lot of marketing consultant, and he tends to go to a lot of startup events. And I think he'd just been to one in New York which he had won, and then he did another one, a Google startup in London, and he had a similar an idea for Snoovies, and he tried it with somebody else, and it sort of went. It was kind of different, isn't it? The direction.
Well, I think it was just a sort of exercise. I think they kind of tried it out, and they did all the marketing and the surveys and stuff like that, customer surveys, and I think they kind of did they win that one? They won the Google one.
They won the Google one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Roger contacted us. We worked with Roger before. We used to do a online gym tip fitness blog called Gym Tips.
As you can tell, we know all about this kind of thing.
So we used to do that, and then after working with Roger, we had a good 4 months of and we did quite a great job of it. So we decided, okay, let's get together, let's go with Snoovies, and we sat down and we gave we had a target. So we were like, okay, it was July when we spoke to each other, and we said, right, we've got 3 months to find 7 Snoovies to write about it, interview and edit and release on the 1st of October. We were all like, yeah, let's go for it. And then we went home and went, what? And then just like the first few months were quite crazy.
Because we were finding what our look was going to be, what our roles were as well, to a certain extent, because we were basically 3 people. Roger's obviously the CEO, so he had a clearer vision than we did. We were brought in effectively because he knew that. So I write as well. So I should mention that. So I write and do the videos, and you're good, very good with ideas.
Yeah.
So he knew all about that. So it was just kind of, we launched about 4 different versions of Snoovies before we got the final one and the final style of it. We brought in designers to help us with what the look would be.
Talent house.
Did a talent house thing.
Yeah.
So we were looking for an in-house designer. And it all kind of changed. There was about 4 or 5 iterations of Snoovies before we launched on the 1st of October, and that final week before we launched, bloody hell.
Yeah.
That was mad. About 2-3 hours sleep a night if we were lucky.
Yeah.
With a baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mainly for us as actors, the reason we wanted to do Snoovies is we've done a few short films, and once that film is done, is obviously the producer and the director's, baby. Sometimes it's submitted to a festival. Others is just it's done. It's a CV thing, and we just feel like there's a lot of great work out there that people don't see. And we also wanted to take short film away from it being, it's I don't know. People see short film as a pretentious. I don't know. Just
we want to. I mean, some short films are quite arty, and that's good, because you need the arty side of it to kind of push the boundaries a wee bit of what is acceptable. But that's not really what we're about. We're about the storytelling. So we want to show films that either tell a story or at least have a point. And
It's just
So-
something that grabs you. So the whole point of Snoovies is that it's on-the-go entertainment. So you're on the tube or flying, and you've got this 5 minutes to spare. You're bored. You've read your book. You've read your magazine. You've got your Snoovies, and it grabs you straight away, and you enjoy it. It's that instant. I'm here. I'm watching this 3-minute Snoovies. We've got a 3-minute film that
I knew you were going to talk about that.
after 3 minutes sitting on the tube, I'm in the central line, crying. I've got something in my eye. Just having that moment of connecting with this film is that there's a lot of people out there who don't understand that there are some amazing short films, and we just want to bring it out there. And the thing that's unique about us is that we're not exclusive. So if a filmmaker sends something to us, we don't say, "Oh, you just have to give it to us. You can't have it on other platforms." We want filmmakers to put it all out there. We're just another bit of exposure. So we don't take it and say it's ours. You can't do anything like that. So that's one of the things that we really love about.
We're
Snoovies.
hoping that in the long term that we'll actually be able to change the for filmmakers, that we'll be able to change the society slightly, so that filmmakers can actually make short films and consider it a viable option for making money, and as well as that they don't have to kind of commit to distributors who will want to just have the film for themselves. So we want, if we become powerful enough, then the whole industry will have to, the short film industry will have to kind of follow our lead. They'll have to go non-exclusive as well, so that basically the copyright will go back to the filmmakers. People who make the films will become the people who own the films again, which is that's how it should, to us and to most people. I think that should be self-evident, but it's not. It's not like that at the moment.
So what's your average day as part of the Snoovie team?
Is there an average day?
It's very, very different. So, say for me, my busiest time is after the launch. So during the finding of the films, so I tend to sort of help with looking for something. I see something, we'll either send it to each other to have a look, or if time is tight, Karsten's usually
we make executive decisions sometimes. Yeah, so that's so good.
At the moment, Karsten's the one who does all the contact, because I'm away a lot. It's best to have one point of contact. So Karsten would tend to write to somebody. So if we like it, we'll send it. Say, Karsten, write to this person, and then you've got that one person you're writing to, rather than all of us writing and then somebody else responding. It's I don't know how you would feel if you wrote something and then another name appeared on the email and you're having to deal with two people. So we all find a film, but then Karsten tends to be the one to contact them. So it
kind of goes. So let's sort of imagine that we've just launched an issue. So if we've just launched an issue, then V's doing
social media,
all the social sort of stuff about that issue that comes out, and she's working quite hard then. And then we have a kind of usually about a week where we kind of just relax a wee bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And then we start looking for new films.
Or watching whatever's been
and we're kind of
submitted
trying to fit this in with daily life as well. So we're also, working or looking after a baby. In our case, Roger's pretty much more full-time on Snoovies at the moment.
Yeah.
So that kind of, there's that little quiet period, and then we've got the deadline for the next issue has got to come out, and then
it's setting up,
it's just like setting up interviews,
editing interviews, and watching the films, coming up with questions for the films. And we're trying to make the questions a bit more interesting rather than just what did you use to film. We want to find out a bit more about the person behind the camera, which I think a lot of people kind of find that interesting as well. You want to know who that, and it's funny to especially meeting people like Richard Perry and Cyrus and that they're quite shy behind the in front of the camera.
In front of the camera, yeah.
There's a reason why, as they used to be actors, and why they've gone behind the camera and things like that. So it's nice to really get into the mind.
We take a slightly different angle, so we don't just talk about film, but we might sort of ask. So we have one film called 8, by Achim. What was his surname?
Oh, I can't pronounce his surname.
It was a very complicated surname. A brilliant film, absolutely awesome film. So we would sort of ask about what he thought about war, because it was a very kind of a light-hearted film, very dark comedy, but it was about war. So we would just say, do you think war is we'll just approach from a different angle slightly.
But it's connected to the theme, so we tend to have a theme of the issue. So that issue was Cold-Blooded Chillers. The last issue was Love Life. we released it in Valentine's, but we didn't want to be a cheesy Valentine's issue. So it's all about life. What, you know, how do you enjoy as a filmmaker? What do you do apart from just making film? How else do you enjoy your life? Or, you know, some people might find it cheesy, some might not. But we didn't want it to be all about love
cheesy
and, you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I mean, I have to say, you know, we were talking about this 3-minute film, for example, is like editing just the review. We do a preview,
Trailer.
so we do a little trailer for our films, and just editing the trailer. I spent, I don't know, 2 days editing that or something, and I was crying for half the time just editing this bloody trailer for this 3-minute film that can make you cry in 3 minutes. It's just such a beautiful film, and we use the music for that, and just that music started triggering me to cry every time. So I was editing this sodding preview, and I was crying for 2 days pretty much because the music's so beautiful.
And it's just bringing that to the audience is like trying to change the short film industry just a little bit, not too much, because we don't know what else is, you know, what's going on.
Not changing the short film industry, but not the
bring it to the
filmmakers,
people.
but just making the general public realise that short films are massively powerful in such a short period of time. You can have these incredible moments.
Yeah.
Okay. So final question: what advice would you give to a budding entrepreneur into the film industry about setting up an online product like yours?
Not, do you mean a filmmaker or someone who just wants to kind of do something to do with?
Both really. Kind of entering into the short filmmakers, entering into that industry, into the short film industry.
I think it's with example with one of the guys we got for this coming issue. You know who we are. He hasn't got anything like Facebook, Twitter. Just you need to have a little profile for yourself. You know, just so you've got a lot of. We do a thing called get involved. You know, we want to tweet about you, we want to Facebook about you, we want to take people to direct them to your page. So just having that kind of just pages and somewhere to market yourself, really know how to market yourself, and get in touch with the social media side of things.
And as well as that, I think if you're a filmmaker, you have to make the most perfect, stunning film you can possibly make. One of our filmmakers from issue 2, David Karlak, he made a film called The Candidate. It's 20 minutes long, which is quite long for a short film, which is very hard to market in festivals, for example, but it is a stunning piece of cinematography. You cannot believe how good this piece of work is and how he managed to produce it while still at college. He went to Savannah College or university. Is it college or university?
College, I think.
Yeah, and because this film is so perfect, it's been described as the opening sequence has been described as perfect. Because of this single film that he's made, short film he's made, he's now signed up with Warner Brothers and Fox. And he's got 2 big budget sci-fi films that he's going to be making.
But it's mainly the network as well.
He networked as well. He already had a network. Part of the reason this film is so good, the short film is so good, is because he knew the producer of Saw. Sorry, but I can't remember his name. What's the name of the producer? I can't remember it. But anyway, the producer of Saw basically wrote the script for him. So he knew all these guys. He knew the DOP already. So he got a lot of guys from outside of the college to help him with this film. And honestly, it's just stunning. The acting's superb. The cinematography is superb. Everything is superb. Although you ask him if it's a perfect film, and he'll point out a couple of little, you can see a boom in a reflection somewhere. I couldn't find it.
But what just to what the guy said downstairs, it's not just learning about just the filmmaking side of things. Learn about everything, like the script writing, the editing, like every single thing about how to make your perfect film. If you just know filmmaking, there's so many other filmmakers out there, but with extra talent. It's having that little extra something as well to help you.
Oh, and one more thing. I think that you can learn as much technical stuff as you like, but you do have, and I know that we're actors, so it's a little bit like kind of, you're actors. But if directors know how to speak to an actor, that's all they have to do is just know how to speak to an actor. And usually that's basically just know what, a director needs to know what that character that they're directing is thinking. And if you can speak to the actor by just saying, what are you thinking now, why, or tell him what he's thinking, then the actor will be able to bring that alive. If you just tell him what he's supposed to look like or what he's supposed to do, it's not necessarily enough. They have to know what the actor's actually thinking. And if you can tell the actor what they're thinking, they'll produce a
Brilliant.
good work.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for coming. It's been great. Thank you.